What's MegaCapitalG here, looking at 3 new Link monsters that have just been revealed coming out of Extreme Force. All 3 of them, interestingly enough, are Cybers type, and they're very unique cards, especially the Link 1 and the Link 3. I think the Link 3 reminds me a lot of Goyo Guardian. I don't know, maybe if that's what Konami is planning. And then the Link 1, I don't know what to make of this card. It's off the fucking wall. But I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start with the Link 1. We have a Link 1, a Link 2, and a Link 3. Again, they are all Cybers type. Very good artworks on these cards as a whole. The Link 1 is Security Gardner. It is light attribute, Link 1, Cybers type. The Link arrow points to the right in the middle. I don't know how good that is on a Link 1. I think that's really terrible, to be honest. Usually you want your Link 1s to point down, but you know, I digress, I guess. 1000 attack. And here's the really weird thing about this card. It's the Link material and its condition. Its condition is it cannot be used as Link material, and to summon this guy you have to use a Cybers Link monster. That is extremely limiting, not just for getting this card on the field, because you generally don't want to use a Link monster to summon another Link monster unless you're going up. But you know, in this case you're probably going to be going down unless you use another Link 1 Cybers type, which I guess is an even exchange. But the fact that you can't use this guy as Link material means you can never, you know, gradually scale up, and it's going to be really difficult for you to expand your field when this guy points to the right. I don't know, man. It just seems really counterproductive. It says you can only control one face up Security Gardner. I think it's super weird that they specified face up, because Link monsters can't be face down. So I don't know if that's some trickery there by Konami or what, but yeah, like Link monsters can't be face down, so I don't really know why they needed to put face up there, but that's fine. You only get one on the field at a time. It says after this card was special summoned, you take no effect damage for the rest of the turn. Okay, only good against, you know, burn decks, I guess, maybe Trick Stars. Effect number 3, the first time you would take battle damage or effect damage each turn, you take no damage. So that can be mildly effective against big play decks like Trick Stars that can do a bunch of burn damage, but just keep in mind, it's not a very easy card to summon, and I think it has way too many restrictions to really be all that useful, considering it doesn't actually protect itself from battle or anything. It only has 1000 attacks, so this is like a super niche card that I don't really like at all, but maybe you guys will like it more than I do. Please explain why if you do. The second card is Recovery Sorcerer, which I think is better. It's a Link rating of 2. Light Cybers. The Link points are to the left and pointing straight down. 1500 attack, and it requires 2 Cybers monsters. All of these guys require like Cybers. Actually, I think the Link 3 does not. It says you can only use the effect with this card's name once per turn. It's a quick effect though, so that's okay. It says target 1 Cybers Link monster in your graveyard that was destroyed this turn. Special summon it, but it has its effects negated if any. Also, it's destroyed during the end phase. Hey, you know what? I don't think I like this card that much either, to be honest. Like, you can get a monster back from the grave. It being a quick effect is pretty nice, but it has to be a Cybers Link monster. Like, if it was just any Cybers monster, that would be way more beneficial. I could actually see that being quite practical in a Cybers deck, but, you know, having to just get a Link monster back, it's just not all that good. And that Link monster is basically only a meat shield at that point. Unless it dies during your turn, in which you can bring it back and then you can do some Link summon plays, that's pretty dope. But in general, I don't really see this card being all that useful, even though it is a quick effect. Now, the Link 3, I think, is the best out of the 3. I think it's very akin to something like Goyo Guardian. Oh no, wait, it does require Cybers monsters. I lied. All of them require Cybers, and they're all Cybers. This is Vector Square Archfiend, which, by the way, by far has, I can't click it. I think I have to click the one at the top. Here it is. This is by far the best artwork out of the 3 cards. 2400 attack. This is a dark attribute card because, I mean, just look at the artwork. The cursors point up towards your opponent, to the right, and down left. And let me see, it requires 2+ Cybers monsters to make, and I think that's everything. I think that's everything that's applicable outside of the effect. It says when this card destroys an opponent's monster by battle and sends it to the graveyard, you contribute 1 monster this card points to. Special summon that destroyed monster to either player's zone this card points to, and if you special summon that monster to your opponent's zone, this card can make a second attack during this battle phase. So at first, I'm not gonna lie, I was like, this card is just a shittier version of Goyo Guardian, like a way shittier version. And I'm obviously talking about like the pre-errata Goyo, not the new super garbage version we have of Goyo where he requires like 2 earth monsters. But then I actually thought about it and I was like, wait a minute, I think this card has like, yeah, it requires a little more to summon than Goyo because they has to, you know, it has to be Cybers type and it is a Link 3, not a Link 2, doesn't quite have the stats of Goyo, but there's a little bit more playmaking. Actually, no, not a little bit, a lot more playmaking ability on this card. Even though to summon the monster back, you do have to like pay a cost. You have to tribute a monster. But here's the thing, right? I'm gonna put this in, I guess, a best case scenario. Let's say you blow up you run over your opponent's monster and it's something really small, like I don't know, maybe a 1,000 attack monster or something like that. You can special summon that monster back to your opponent's side of the field and then just attack it again, and that's just free damage for no reason at all. Yes, it does come at a tribute, but at the same time, that damage might win the duel because who's to say that that monster you tributed didn't already attack during the battle phase as well. Also, you have to take into consideration, you can just take your opponent's monster, and unlike Goyo Guardian where you have to summon it in defense mode, that monster can come back in attack mode and it could potentially kill your opponent. So that's actually pretty nice. So yeah, this card, like the cost of activating its effect is pretty steep, but it does have a lot more playmaking ability than Goyo. Now, the interesting thing is, it does say you can tribute 1 monster this card points to, right? So can you tribute a monster on your opponent's side? I don't think you can do that, right? If you can tribute, it doesn't say that you can't though, right? It just says tribute 1 monster this card points to. So what if your opponent has like a decode talker that is, you know, it is linked up with this card on near field? Why can't you tribute their decode talker? Like, it doesn't say that you can't do that. If you can do that, then whoa, this card might actually be very, very scary. If I could just tribute my opponent's monster, then take their monster and then summon it to, you know, that zone that the monster was in that I tributed, and then attack that monster again and do even more damage, that would just increase this card's playmaking ability even more. But overall, I think that we have 2 pretty mediocre cards and 1 card that has potential. I honestly wish that this card was generic because I think that it requiring 2 Cybers really hurts its playability. Like, Konami is going to, we don't have any strong Cybers archetypes right now, like, just to be honest, within the first 3 sets. So unless Konami gives us something really good in the 4th set and beyond, you probably won't see this card seeing actually any play. So you guys let me know what you think of the 3 cards. If you guys somehow think that the first card is good or that it's going to be amazing, please explain why, because I think this card is just straight up ass, like toilet paper ass. But anyways, I'm done talking. Thank you guys for watching. As always, I'm going to go watch some JoJo's Bizarre Adventures because I just started Stardust Crusaders and I just felt like I needed to mention that in this video randomly for no reason at all. Subscribe if you have not already, and turn on those notifications for daily videos.